Okay, girlies, she's waiting for you.
Over there anyway, so.
Okay, perfect.
I just need, usually, I'm very picky about my work surface. And, I mean, if you can be neat and tidy, you're kind of halfway there. The trick to ceramics is to be neat and tidy about your work. Because these little burr things, they get stuck in your surface. And if you do any kind of surface decoration, you see it, right? So I'm very, very particular about that stuff. So we want a slab now, determining the shape of our slab. So we roll out enough surface area to do what we need to do. So I start it like this because we're gonna need it linear. We're gonna need a slab that's linear. So I start it kind of in this shape because I know that that's really the shape that I'm gonna need. And I'm just making almost like a pancake. Now the idea with a slab is to have it even thickness through the whole surface area, so that you don't have your edges really thin, you know, and thick in the middle, because that makes for an inconsistent wall, because the whole purpose is to have a consistent wall throughout. So again, I'm just kind of rolling. I don't usually do any more than a roll or two, and then I flip. Just keep on rolling.
And you call this slab construction,
This
right?
is, yeah, this is
Slab building.
yeah, this is more of a soft slab construction I'm doing here now. Now, the thing about canvas is that canvas creates a texture. And you don't always want canvas texture. See, there's a little burr stuck in there now.
I've been noticing that, like, I have particulates, like, on my hands.
On your hands, yeah.
So you gotta keep your hands.
Washing your hands.
Okay.
Generally, I go for thinner slabs opposed to thicker slabs. But there is a point where it's too thin to work with, and there's a point where it's too thick. So the general rule for me is as thick as if you squeeze your pinky finger. There's a way to create an illusion of thinness with your slab as well that I will show you. Now, you want your slab big enough to roll right around. Okay, so that one's good. And you need it big enough for the bottom, cut out the bottom of your piece. Now, I've made, remember those little ice cream dishes that I showed you? That's on my blog? They're all slab built as well. So I've got a nice clean surface on this side. On this side here, not so much. You should do the time-lapse video, because you're going to take up lots of space on your camera. So I'm going to flip it, and now get this surface nice. And this little baby here is the best thing ever, because it compresses the surface of the slab and really smooths it out. See that? See how wonderful that is?
I can see your fold in the paper.
Yeah, the fold's not great. So I want to try to take that out. Now, there's a few things that we can do with this. Can we have, let me see, a piece, some of your texture pieces? Which one?
Oh,
These things. Yeah, let's pick out a nice, you can pick out a nice texture there somewhere.
oh, I didn't think about those. And I just put some in the dishwasher and tap right. I use them for everything. You want the sticks?
Sure, that's
It
nice.
must be good.
So, what I'm going to do now is, I'm just going to make a nice straight line with my ruler.
The paper?
Okay, because you need a nice base. And I'm using a pin tool to cut with. You don't have to use that. At home I have something called a fettling knife, which is, I mean, you can buy all kinds of fancy pottery tools. You really can. But if you can see my slab, right? It's a real practice to get slabs even and thin, you know. So you'll see what I mean when you start rolling out. You've already rolled out a little bit of stuff, right? So I'm gonna go about 3 inches high. With this. Usually, I don't know how long this is, but it's definitely long enough to roll around it too. So I'm gonna get this one. Save your slabs because you will need the other pieces. This is beautiful. Sometimes I'll get a little bit of alumina hydrate or a little bit of cornstarch. Do you have cornstarch out there? A little
Probably
bit of
not.
cornstarch and dust this, and it will help prevent it from sticking. But it won't work on a glazed piece to use as a mold. So, you know, and only temporarily. Once it gets soaked, you're not going to get the same kind of result.
Now, just a quick thought, if she puts that in the dishwasher, is that clay going to impact her?
No.
No, what I do, I rinse it out first, so there's no
Oh.
clay actually on it, it's just to sterilize it with the heat, right?
So, it's not so prominent there, but that's okay. I kind of like that. The edge that's going to be the rim of the cup, I'm smoothing out, and this gives that nice illusion of thinness.
Right.
Right? I'm doing both sides. You don't want to go too thin because you don't want to sharpen it. But so this is going to be the outside part of my cup, and I'm taking my time, very carefully doing all of this, right? And very important part. You're going to take the corner of your tube, or take the tube at the corner of your paper and roll. So you have a nice, even surface on your bucket. And you're going to just take, so you want some nice clean edges here. The paper is going to allow you to pull that tube out. You can't leave the tube in too long because remember I said clay shrinks and it will crack around the tube. So you don't want to leave it for very long. Is that me?
No, that's me.
So your top is what's midway up the tube, not, yeah, and your
So
bottom is up.
I measured that so that it wasn't too, like if I was making little dishes, I would have made it a little bit shorter.
Right.
You know, and with those other dishes that I made, I actually slumped the bottom so it was kind of curved a little bit underneath. But again, you're just learning the basics, so try different things. You gotta think out of the box a little bit. So I'm going to cut this on an angle now. See my angle? Because I want to create a little bit of
Seam.
surface area for the seam. And this one's going to be seamless. Or maybe I don't want it seamless. If I wanted it seamless, I could cut on the edge and it would fit together. I'm gonna do this one so you can see the seam. So I'm just gonna cut down through straight, okay? So that's two things to take note of there. If you want it seamless, cut on an angle so it's mitered and it comes together and there's no overlap. But I kind of like a little bit of an overlap. And that's gonna happen really nicely when I do this now. You smoother that edge and then smoother this edge. Because with soft slab construction, the seam can be really beautiful in there. And with the trees, it's gonna give this little rustic look to it. So I'm doing both sides. So the two sides that are going to come together and overlap now, I'm going to slip and score it. I'm going to slip and score this edge here. And I'm going to slip and score this edge here. And I'm not going to destroy this because I want this to be a highlight. So I'm going to score a little bit in from the edge. I'm always conscious of how it's going to look, you know. Now I know that this one's going to be on the inside and the other is going to.
Not quite long enough?
Not quite.
Do you want a smaller tube?
No. That's good. Doesn't take very much. I have something called a pony roller. It's like a little zip, like almost like a little brayer, and they're beautiful for seams. So I like to have a little seam like that. But that's me. Some people don't want a seam. So I'm going to roll at the bottom. The bottom goes cut out after because you want the full measurement. Now let's try another one. You can roll out a piece of fabric and get the texture you wanted. I mean, these are fancy. These are really fancy. So something that might go nice with the leaves or the thing.
This is your bottom?
This is going to be my bottom. Yeah. Pretty.
So the print's going to be on the inside of the mug, or you're going to flip it over?
Just turn it around.
It's going to be on the bottom. So when you lift up your cup, you got
You
that
drink, people can see
beautiful.
your big bottom.
So I'm holding
Your
the
pretty
two-
bottom.
I'm holding the little, my pin tool up really straight. Okay. So this is a straight up cup. Sometimes I will do darting, and when I come up again, I'll show you the darting. The darting is really cool, but this is just, you know, for you to practice, and some of you might want to try the darting. So this is going to go this way now. Take out that rough edge.
I can hardly wait for her to finish so I can try it. You feel like that?
Yeah.
Like, quick, got it.
Okay, it's enough, let's try.
Yeah.
So the way I did those little dishes that I had before, the ones that I showed you, I took the bottom of this and slumped it in a bowl and made it round. And then it went on there. And then I put little feet. Right? I can see all of you guys just.
Rodents are furious in the mind, right?
I want that edge off.
I know I'm not gonna be able to hold it.
Yes, you will. Not a lot of slip. I never use a ton of slip, you know, it's just a little bit.
Wendy, did you have to mix your slip again this morning or just?
No, that's still the stuff. If you take care of your slip bucket, you're in good hands. You don't want it to dry out too much. Well, as
You
long
have
as you
to-
keep a lid and you keep tending to it, it should be fine. This is a really beautiful consistency of a slip. But some slip buckets can get really gross too.
How did you make this like?
It's just the
Watered
clay
in.
body, yeah, with a little bit of water and really mashed.
And Denise stirred
And
it for
Denise
like
stirred it.
hours. Oh, really?
If
Not
you're-
hours,
if
yeah, like
you're-
Playing in mud, right?
If you are
Still.
reclaiming clay, then just take some of that. I don't want, again, oops, I'm using the wrong tool, to really mash up my edges too much, right? This is thin. I make thin pieces.
Now that's a serious mug.
I really wish I had one of those little rollers because
Okay, did you call it a pony?
Pony roller.
yeah. Improvise.
So the sides were all the way down. The side was set at the bottom of the tube. Is that right?
Yeah. So see how I'm putting a little slant or an angle? Because I like a nice little shadow when my cups sit on the table. So they look like they want to be lifted rather than just sitting there flat. Does that make sense?
In a weird and wonderful way, yes.
See? And it will be just that little, see that little shadow? Right? Instead of just like it's stuck onto the table, right? And look how beautiful those little tree marks are on there.
So how long will that sit now, Wendy, before you
So
take
I'm
it?
gonna take this out. It's really warm.
Can we open that window there, Susan? I don't know if it's
Can you? I would say it's very unlikely that it opens.
It's locked. It's locked.
So
Unlock
look at this nice little trick there now. So sometimes these are really tiny. If I had a little bucket of water, I could just take this and
Are you gonna leave that little sort of lip on it,
Yep.
little edge?
That's the style.
I like that.
Because you like it.
I like that. Because the glaze will pool beautifully in there.
Create a little darker
They're
Yeah.
painted shut.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're painted shut.
Just tried.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Throughout the
about
whole
that one,
building, I
Renee.
think.
Deanne?
That one over
I don't
Dina?
know if they're ever-
Just at the top, there's a
That's
lock.
okay, that's okay. We
No,
can
they're
That's
actually
definitely
painted.
shut.
Well, I just looked at
deal
it.
with
Okay.
it after. Okay, so
And you can't get out anyway because of the snow thing right next to the window.
I have a brush that's a little stiffer than this that I would just go through that with a little bit of, like a damp brush, smooth it out. So this one here is going.
You go open the outside door.
That's
there.
enough you to
Did
do
you
right
all
now.
see that?
Yeah.
I was wondering how you were gonna get that off.
Ooh.
And now I can see my score marks in there. See that?
Mm-hmm.
I won't want that in there, so I will go in with a paintbrush afterwards. So I could go this one.
So just a little
Oh,
wet
just
paint
smooth
brush.
it down.
Clean it up.
Yeah.
I would have put my hand in there and I would have messed it up.
And without
Tipped it over.
my luck, I'd have more prints than.
I'm such a perfectionist in what I'm very, and I like to push the boundaries. Like, how thin of a slab can I go? Really, before I destroy it. So, handle now.
What about this now? You're
I'm gonna leave that. So, handle.
Dina won't have one of those.
This handle is gonna be quite thin. That's okay. You want your handle to be a little bit thicker, your slab, definitely. I'm just gonna go full speed ahead here now with this.
Handle is thicker than the slab, is that what you said?
It's a thicker slab, really, that you want. It was a little bit thicker. So I would do my handle just like that. But because it's a little bit thin, I'm going to add an element to this. Okay, I'm gonna throw you for a loop now.
She's about to get fancy.
I'm gonna get fancy.
And we're all gonna try it.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to show off one.
Can
I?
I thought you had a brain fart.
You want to do something different?
Show off now. We're all experts. Ah.
I'm not gonna destroy my seam. See that?
Wrong side.
Wrong side. It's the wrong side.
How much you fit?
On this side. Now we got a handle. This is.
Are you intentionally making it sort of a wedge shape, like not completely, like, not even all the way?
Yeah. Needs even. Now I'm going to cut on an angle. This way. And this way. See that? Slice this way and this way. So now I got a nice seam
It just makes sense.
that matches this seam. Gives you a little bit
The angle has to.
To fit the base.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's beautiful.
So it'll be perfect. And it's still a little bit. So I'm gonna let that sit just for a second. So whatever happens with the glaze that I use on this, with the, it's gonna transfer into that seam that I just intentionally put there. Do you know what I mean?
So make it stand out.
So your mission.
Your mission today. Should